When you buy a house, there's always lots to do. Our new homeowners have a really long to-do list. Watch how we help them transform the outdoor spaces. All coming up next on For Your Home.
When we're making our windows and doors, and even when we're not, Pella is helping to protect our environment in communities across the country through forest stewardship, pollution prevention, waste management, and other green initiatives. Not only because it's good for business, but because it's the right thing to do. And frankly, it's just part of the way we've always done things. Because at Pella, we believe we're not just making windows and doors for houses, we're making them for the people who live inside. Pella, viewed to be the best.
Now, you might have a tendency when you move into a house to start working on the inside. But as long as the weather's nice, I suggest you start on the outside. That's where the curb appeal really begins. Now, in this backyard, this gate is the door to a lot of work ahead for these homeowners. There's no way to get from that gate into the backyard without walking through the grass. It needs a sidewalk. Now, the grass, well, there's not much grass here. It's mostly weeds and old dead Bermuda grass. We also have a lot of highs and lows. There's water standing in places. So we need to correct the grade of the entire backyard. Over here at the back of the garage, we have a door that's seen better days, so we're going to have to give that some attention. And again, it needs a walkway as well. On the back of this house, originally when it was built, the homeowners added a great screened-in porch and a deck. But they look really tired, and they're really not up with today's quality or style that we would like to see in a house in this kind of a neighborhood. Now, the big trees that we have around here have shaded out the ground so much that we can't really grow grass here. So it might be a great idea to extend the size of our deck right on out into the backyard. Here on the back deck, the structural foundation of it might be pretty sound, but the deck boards, because they weren't kept stained and protected over the years, they really need to be replaced. I think that we want to get Mick involved with this and have him do a whole redesign for us, keeping the screened-in porch concept, but totally reworking this deck area. Before you do any landscaping or any improvements to any of the outdoor living spaces, it's essential that you have a great plan. And what do I mean by a plan? Get an architectural plan for the landscaping as well as for your deck. By the time we're done, it's going to look like it deserves to be right across the street from a big country club. Lori just moved here from Cincinnati with her husband and 2 kids. They love the mild Carolina climate and can't wait to start enjoying their new home.
Slowly but surely it's coming along. The outside, I do not even know what plants are there. I feel very overwhelmed. The screen porch needs to be freshened up. I knew that the deck, something needed to happen. We knew that we wanted to add a fire pit. I contacted For Your Home. I found out about your show and just said, I'd like some maybe resources, help me out, and here you are. So I'm very excited to see what you come up with.
When it comes to building a new deck, I know the guy to give the call to, and that would be to Mick from Deckscapes. Mick worked with us last season on For Your Home to create a great backyard retreat, and I'm sure he can do the same here for Lori and her family. Hey, Mick, I'm excited about working together again.
Me too, Vicki. Great to see you again.
Yeah. Well, I know you've been talking with Lori, and she shared some of their concerns about what she and Rick are after. What are you going to do about the screened-in porch? Let's start right there.
Right off the bat, we're going to take off the walls, take off the screening, take off the ceiling, really brighten it up, open it up, take the floor out of there.
Okay, so you're still going to have a screened-in porch when we're done, but it's just going to be brighter, less post, and a more inviting place to be into.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
You can see the deck boards are in really bad shape. This is all going to come up. We looked underneath, and the framing was in really good shape, so we can save a lot of that.
That's good.
We're going to take we're going to add a section out here, a good spot to put a table and chairs.
Okay.
We're going to have some stairs that come down to a lower deck out there, and we'll have the kitchen area over in that corner over there.
Okay. That's going to be great. It's going to be really handy right there.
Right.
What else you got planned for us?
Another neat feature we're going to do is we're going to take a pergola from the kitchen area over to the screen porch, about halfway out on the deck. Good spot to have some seating chairs in here. And there's a great jasmine plant on the corner which will grow up on top of this pergola and really give them a...
Well, I think that growing on a pergola is a lot better answer than letting it grow up the drain pipe, don't you? Okay, so now what else are we going to do? We need a bigger deck.
All right, I'm going to come down a little bit. We're going to have a couple steps that come down over here.
Right here?
To a big kind of wraparound deck to this side of the sitting area.
Okay.
We'll have some benches, some planters. We'll have a good spot for a fire pit, good spot to hang out down here.
Okay. Right.
A couple things that we noticed that were in the way. A couple branches have to come down. The landscaper will be in charge of that.
Okay.
And then some irrigation that's in the way will come out also.
Okay, well, I know that Dave's working on his plan for the backyard. Sounds like you've got a great idea and great plans here. I know Lori's got everything already approved, and I can't wait to see how it all turns out.
Great.
Yeah, thanks, Vic.
You got it.
Lori and her family purchased this home just a few months ago. She has been busy focusing on the interior. Now it's time to update the exterior. I love mixed plans, and so did the HOA. The Homeowners Association has approved everything, so we're ready to start our project. Always make sure you check before you start any project at your house. Follow the rules. It'll save you a lot of money and aggravation later. Our landscaper on this project is David, and he's with Growing Legacy. David happens to be my landscaper, so I know you're going to do a great job. Are you ready for this challenge?
We're ready.
All right. Well, I saw the plans. You sent them over to my office. I think they look terrific.
Thank you.
In fact, I got one question. How come this isn't my backyard? That's next season, right?
Right, right.
Okay, well, you know, you're doing a lot of hardscape here and a lot of changes. Let's walk through those, what we're doing.
Okay. The deck will be moving out into what is now the yard. We need to remove some of the limbs off of the nearby trees to make room for the deck. Once that's done, any irrigation that's in the way of the new deck, we'll remove that from the area. Okay. And we're going to run a sidewalk off the new deck area, take it to the driveway via the garage door.
Okay, what about all the lumps and bumps we've got out here, though, David? This yard is in bad shape here.
We're gonna take all of this out. We're gonna completely remove the existing lawn, the existing weeds, what have you. Any problems that we find in the yard.
Yeah, like what's going on over here?
We're not sure. It may be a new oil well, but we're gonna find the issue here, repair it. The entire yard will be regraded and resodded.
Okay, well, you know, you're gonna put that great sidewalk over here, and trust me, I'm gonna fix that door. We're gonna get a new door in there, because I'd hate for your beautiful walkway to end at that.
That'll look better.
And then we're gonna have that walkway you said come on over here to the drive so we can get out.
We'll come away from that tree just a little bit so we're not in the way of the roots, and come out to the garage, or to the driveway.
Okay, well, I know we've also got plans for the front. Let's go on up there and take a look at that.
Okay.
David, this really looks bad over here with a trash can. Have you got some plan for that?
We do. We're going to take out the stump that's probably from an existing holly. We're going to define the area where the trash can corral is and do a pea gravel base for that so it'll stay neat and look neat.
You know, that's all you need is just a designated space for it, you know?
Right.
Now, I know up front we're not doing any hardscapes, but I know you are moving some trees around. And what are the overall plans for this front space?
Well, a lot of the landscape is older. Some of it has been cut down, so we need to remove some stumps from old plant material. Some of the plant material is the right plant in the wrong place, so we're going to move some things around the yard. Some of these beds are built up quite a bit, and we're just going to correct those and add new plant material, new perennials. The homeowner asked for low maintenance, so we're going to put some things in that'll look great year-round and be low maintenance.
We have two big projects underway at the same time, a new deck and a new yard, and they are both shaping up great. Mick, this is really looking great. I'm loving this.
Thanks. Yeah, we really made some progress.
You have made a lot of progress, you know, since I was out here the last time, and we've had some days of rain, which has caused a pretty muddy mess out here.
That's always fun, yeah.
For your guys. But you know, when we were talking about this at the pergola here, and we were looking at the drawings, I just didn't envision that it was going to be this large, and I really like that.
Yeah, it will. It's more just for, you know, setting up some chairs over here and sitting over here. You'll have your kitchen area, which will, you know, it'll all tie it in once that grill goes in place.
Okay, yeah, I think so too. That'll be the perfect deal. And here with the screened-in porch, I know we've still got the screens and some work to do here, but you know, this is so open. Before there was a board here.
Right. Yeah, we eliminated about 4 or 5 of the mid posts in there.
Yeah, I really like that. That's so good. And then up on the ceiling in here too, you get a lot of. Tell me about this.
Okay, we took off that old, just a flat, boring ceiling. We put a beadboard panel up there, trimmed it out with some 1x4. And when it gets painted and stained, it's really gonna pop.
Do we know yet what color we're gonna do in here?
No, Lori and Rick will pick that out.
Okay. All right. Maybe they'll do like a little cream or something that will go with this.
We'll probably match all this, all the wood. The treated wood will be matched to the house trim color. And then we'll stain the beaded ceiling.
Okay, that'll look really nice. That'll look really good. And you know, it seems like, you know, with the fresh boards, they're lighter in color, so it just seems bigger already, you know, with a bigger opening.
And it is.
Yeah, it is bigger. You made it bigger, huh? Yeah. This is turning out great.
Hi.
Hi, Lori.
Oh, goodness. No.
We were in the middle.
We were filming.
Very.
Melinda and I wanted to surprise Lori by taking an old piece of furniture she had out on her back porch and faux finishing it so we could create a great bar for the new patio. Take a look. I think that we should go with the green and red because we've got the red bricks, and she has a lot of this color. We can use this red as a great accent color. Do you think, where would you think on this chest that we could do that?
I would love to see that in the background. I think that would be beautiful.
Really make it pop, right?
Really make it pop. We've made a lot of progress. Come take a look.
I think it's really coming out great. Now, the first step that you had to do was 2 coats of the red paint.
And now we're going to take our second color,
and I'm just going to roll it on, right?
You're going to roll it on.
Yeah, but you said don't be a perfectionist. Just roll it any old way, right?
No, don't be a perfectionist at all. You want to roll it.
This works perfect for me, not being a perfectionist.
Next step is to take your chip brush, which is sitting in the roller tray, and just sort of dip it in the paint, a little heavier than that. And you want to sort of randomly...
About like that?
About like that.
Okay.
Randomly skip it around the front. And what that does is give it some texture. So when you do the final couple of steps, you'll have some of the texture telegraphing through the wax that we're going to put on. Our next step is to take this drawer that we've already prepared, and we're going to take a fine grit piece of sandpaper.
What kind of grit is that, about 300?
I like using 320 grit. If you're really in a hurry, you can use a rougher one, but you really, really have to use a light touch on this because it can, if you're too heavy on it, it can take your paint right down to the finish, to the original finish, and you don't want to do that. So we're going to lightly sand it. Would you like the honors?
Sure. See, when it comes to the manual labor, she passes it off to me. Okay.
Just until some of the red is showing through, you're really going to want to get around the edges. What you want to try to do is get sort of a natural wear and tear.
So that would be like around the knob, maybe? Do I have to go in any motion, or can I go in any way I want to?
You can go any way you want, but really mostly around the edges.
Okay. Yeah, you can put quite a bit of stuff in, pressure in here.
Yeah, with a 320 grit, you can put a little more pressure on it. With a like 100 grit, you have to go really
You go right
fast.
through it, right? Okay. All right. So maybe a little bit more.
Maybe a little bit more.
She took me serious when I said, let's do this together, right? This is back. Now what's our next step?
Our next step, we're going to take a, it's a mineral-based wax, and the first color we're using is clear.
Okay.
And the reason we use the clear, that's the exact right brush.
I love this brush. Love that brush.
I know. It gets in all the nooks and crannies if you're really working on a piece that has a lot of detail on it.
I bet that brush is expensive, isn't it?
Yes.
Notice how she held on to it. Okay, show me what you did.
That being said, as long as you have a natural bristle brush, I mean, you could actually use a chip brush for this application. We're going to take this, we're going to cover all of our surface.
Okay.
If I were to apply the dark wax by itself, you wouldn't be able to manipulate the wax the way you like it. Now we're going to take the dark wax, we're going to go over where we put the clear wax, and just kind of random every which way.
Now with the clear wax, would it have to dry any amount of time, or it doesn't matter?
No, you want to put the dark wax on right over the clear wax.
Okay, right away. Okay. All right. Now remember when I worked on my dining room chairs with this, if it's really hot, it'll stick and dry really fast.
It does dry really fast, and that's why you have to put the dark right on over the clear right after you put it on.
So now is this ready to buff off?
It's ready to wipe off.
It doesn't have to wait any longer than this.
Doesn't have to wait any longer at all.
Okay.
And you kind of want to do it a little randomly. Yeah, maybe little circles and kind of establish the pattern that you like. When you're working on a larger piece, like when I did the tops of the hutch and the table here, I did them in sections.
Well, I think this is going to be a great surprise for Lori. Thank you so much for helping me with this.
Well, you're welcome. It was a lot of fun.
Before Mick and his guys could put the screens into our new screened-in porch, we had to get some painting done. Dave Chido is our FYH painter, and he's got some great tips for us. Hey, Dave, how you doing today?
Great, great.
This looks beautiful out here.
Thank you.
I love the way it turned out. Now, you know, a lot of people, they kind of feel comfortable inside painting. They know what they should use. But when it gets outside, I think that's when they start to get confused. Let's step through the process of what you did in this project.
Great. Well, I used 3 different products, actually. The first one, this is pressure-treated lumber. And the thing about pressure-treated lumber, of course, it has chemicals in it. And over the years, that's going to come out. We used a solid color stain, which basically looks like paint.
Yeah,
but
it looks exactly like paint.
It allows the wood to breathe. And if any moisture does get behind it, it allows some of that to get out.
So it won't be bubbling and blistering on us and that kind of thing.
Exactly. With paint, if any moisture gets behind it in the wood at all, it's going to peel.
Okay, so we want to stay with it. If we want this kind of look, then it's a solid stain we're after.
Solid stain holds up a lot better. You see people all the time using the paint. Within 2 years, it's going to be peeling because it's impossible to really get a good seal on this, and there's chemicals in it.
Okay. Right, and we think a lot of times, you know, that it's just maintenance-free outside, but it's not. You do have to protect the wood. Now, on the top, we have a combination of beadboard and wood trim. What did you use on that?
What I used is an exterior stain product. Actually, this product is from Cabot's. And what it is, it's a colored stain that actually has a protectant. You can use the same product on the deck.
Okay.
You can put multiple coats, but each coat is going to get deeper.
Deeper in color.
Deeper in color.
Okay, and how many coats would you recommend?
Well, it depends on the depth, how dark you want it.
Okay, so we're going really for more layers because of color, not for protection?
Protection. One coat in most cases will protect enough.
Okay.
On your areas like the deck, you more likely want to put 2 coats because you have a lot of wear.
Okay. Yeah. All right, and in here we wanted to keep it light because we didn't want to darken it up in here any more than it already is. Now, you were telling me that the biggest mistake that homeowners make when they do a stain project is what?
Absolutely. What they end up doing is try to take on more than they can handle. The quicker you are, the more pieces you can actually try to do at one time. If you're a beginner, what I would suggest is you get your stain, you go across one of these beads from one side
all the way over to the end,
completely to the other, and then go back to the next one. What a lot of people end up doing is doing 3 or 4, and then they move forward, and what happens, it starts to penetrate, it starts to dry, and the overlap spots
shows every time.
So
okay, so that's a great tip. So work a board all the way to the end, work as wide as you can personally handle, then move up and start to work all the way across again.
And that idea also applies to paint. When a lot of people are painting siding on the outside, they end up doing one section, take a lunch break, come back, and then they continue. And then over top, wherever the overlap is, you're going to see brush marks as opposed to keeping a wet edge and moving with it.
And that's the way that if you want a professional look like you guys do, then those are great tips to follow. Well, David, you guys did a wonderful job out here, and this is going to last for a really long time.
Thank you.
There are lots of final details that Mick and his crew will have to get done before we can start decorating this new deck. Lori and her family are eager to see the deck completed. The painter is done and the screens are all installed. Now it's time for me to get busy. Just finishing up putting some knobs on the counter that Melinda and I painted for Lori. You know, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. We're working off of a green-red combination because Lori has a lot of that inside her house, and we wanted to carry it right on out to the screened-in porch. You know, this is a lot of great serving space for her. She can display some of her favorite items, plenty of room for glasses. The wide shelf that we have here will work great for, you know, serving, setting up hors d'oeuvres or wine glasses for a party. And then, of course, in the drawers, she can put placemats, napkins, and on the bottom, a basket to hold other things that she'd need. Working with that same red theme, we selected a great brown wicker bench. Now, this is that new plastic wicker, so it can stay outside. It looks like real wicker, but it's very durable. And then with the red and cream-colored cushion on the bottom, it just really livens up this space. You don't want to go dark with cushions in an area like this because you don't have any natural daylight, so that's important. Have a great red cushion just to throw in a little bit more touch. Now, you want to mix it up a little bit, so bring in some other color. You could bring in yellow, you could bring in orange, something that has some bright, fun play to it, like this metal table. Now, on the other side, we have another chair and cushion, and the same in the other corner. This will give them plenty of room for their whole family to sit and relax and enjoy the new screened-in porch. Come on outside, let's take a look. This was her table and chairs. All we did was buy coordinating pillows for this space. We bought them for all the chairs in the same print as we have in the sunroom and popped in some of the red throw pillows. And bringing that same red color right on up into our art piece in the middle of the table. Now, originally I had planned for us to do some planters over here with some nice red flowers and ivy hanging down. But a mother dove had another plan, so those will have to wait to another day. Now, this is the major part of the deck that we enlarged. We added all of this space to this area so that we've got a lower, closer to the ground space for partying and entertaining that can flow right out into the yard. Now, Mick built in these benches in this area, so it's very comfortable. We don't have to have other furniture out here. You know, we can always drag the chairs from the porch if we want to, but this is a nice, wide open space. Now, Mother Nature not only gave us a dove and a dove nest, but it also took out our tree that we had planted here. We had a big storm this weekend. It looked really like it was danger to the deck, so we went ahead and had the tree taken down. Now we've got plenty of sunshine. Mick also installed some planters for us here on the deck. And the nice thing about these planters is that you can either plant directly into them or just drop in your planters just the way that you purchase them or you get them from the store. Well, Mick, I think it's another successful deck project by FYH and you. What do you think?
Thanks, Vicki. I really like the way the screen porch came out.
I do too. You know, before it was really dark and it was so outdated looking.
Sure.
This looks fabulous.
Yeah, we took all the walls down, opened it up a little bit. You know, we put a nice light paint on it, so
yeah.
We brightened it up. We've got the stained ceiling inside. We put the new aluminum door on there.
I think this is really nice. The other one was kind of a vinyl thing, and it didn't really work very well.
Right, yeah, this
so
will hold up a lot better, and we matched the handles to the house. It's got the retractable glass panel inside.
I like that a lot.
Our screen system that we used is it's a mini track screen system. Very low profile, very heavy duty, so that'll hold up to the elements.
Yeah, and you know, this is different than what I've seen before, you know, the kind with the old cap over the top of it.
Right, right. That had a tendency to warp as it got hotter outside.
Okay.
This will hold up a lot better.
All right, and it looks like it'd be pretty easy if you got a hole in that screen to repair this, too.
It is. Just take the spline out and roll a new spline in.
Okay, and this is like a nylon screen, too, right?
Charcoal fiberglass.
Okay. Perfect. So that looks fantastic. I love everything that you did, the new open space that we have and the lower deck, the planters, the benches. It's really a deck that's going to really function well, I think, for Lori and her family.
I agree. I mean, they've got plenty of space now. They've got a great eating area, entertaining area. Got the new pergola.
I know,
so
once that vine starts coming out across there, it's really going to accomplish a lot of the things that we needed it to do as far as providing shade to it.
I agree, and we reused a lot of the old materials too. So
you know, that's the nice thing about working with wood is that you can extend out your deck. You know, this is the second time that we've done this, working with wood, is to be able to extend it out and not have to recycle as much or haul it off to a landfill.
Right, which is a big problem.
Yeah,
so we were able to use it quite a bit. Well, I know I love the way it came out. I wonder how Rick and Lori liked it.
Well, take a listen to what Lori had to say.
Okay.
I love it. Nick and his crew did a fantastic job. The screened-in porch is definitely, it's updated, it's new, it's more open. Melinda did a fantastic job on the hutch/bar, and now I feel like I can really spend some time out there, the family, with the family and entertain. And then on this area of the deck, it's more of kind of a dining area itself with the grill right there with the pergola, beautiful. And then I have the lower level where we can sort of hang out, we can rest. Love the planter boxes that Mick did for me. They're wonderful. I love it. What do you think?
I think it's great.
This deck project was a lot of fun. Now Lori and her family have a beautiful outdoor living space that they can enjoy in this mild Carolina weather almost year-round. But For Your Home is not done yet. You have to join us next time to see how our landscape makeover turns out right here on For Your Home.